this our era of reform, we will need a lot of information that supports us to live a decent life and an updated way of life. Especially digital technology as we see it now is very supportive to meet human needs. Especially in literacy needs, digital literacy is a form of ability to obtain, understand, and use information that comes from various sources in digital form. In the field of education, literacy aims to provide a person knowledge or understanding in certain learning as well as to encourage curiosity and creativity, which is indeed an important part of learning. Increased curiosity and creativity that is learning own, because readers have a clear reason to be able manage good information to learn in accordance with the rapid development of technology, so that readers can easily solve a problem from existing information. What about readers who absorb too much information?
Information overload refers to a state where an individual or a system is exposed to an excessive amount of information that exceeds their capacity to process and absorb it effectively. It occurs when there is an overwhelming volume of information available and the ability to filter, prioritize, and make sense of it becomes difficult. In today's digital age, where information is readily accessible through various sources, such as the internet, social media, emails, news platforms, and more, it is common for individuals to experience information overload. This can lead to feelings of overwhelm, stress, reduced productivity, and difficulty in decision making. Information overload can occur in different contexts, such as in personal life, work environments, academic settings, or even during online research. Factors contributing to information overload include the rapid pace of information creation and dissemination, the availability of diverse sources and formats, and the content's connectivity that keeps individuals connected to information channels throughout the day.
Information overload occurs when information needs or information supply exceed individual information processing capacity or information request. However, management capabilities differ from individual to individual, making it impossible to estimate the universal threshold level of information load. Broadly speaking, information overload occurs when the amount of content available becomes difficult for someone to process and often causes negative feelings in the end. In addition, another cause is rapidly increasing production of information, also called journalism of assertion or statement journalism, where journalists become less careful because they focus more on and speed of publication due to increased competition in the news coverage process, will ultimately affect the quality of news, because cross-checking facts has the potential to be ignored. Then the easy factor is to spread data and information through the internet to the addition of platform or media obtained information, be it by phone, email, social media, and more.
Consequence that often occurs due to information overload is that it can trigger information saturation among netizens as a result of the variety of content spread on social media, which is also very diverse, such as Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook. This increasing content that is not validated and the risk of misinformation is very high, especially for those who have not been able to control the usage of social media, such as underage children. The impact that arises from receiving too much information actually depends on how the recipient of the information responds. Because there are people who remember the information well, there are people who try to remember the information, there are people who remember the information that is necessary, and there are even those who don't want to know about the information received. These responses have different impacts. For someone who easily remembers, he won't have a problem. For people who have difficulty remembering, but trying to remembering all the information, this will cause him to be depressed with his desire. For people who remember only what is needed and people who don't want to know, it won't have any impact. Whether it's a little or a lot of information, it won't have any effect.
From the above problems, of course, we as students or part of society who understand the consequences of information flooding can minimize or reduce the impact of this event by social networking, creating content, organizing and sharing content, collaboration, filtering and selecting content, and self-broadcasting. Organizing and sharing content is very influential in the flood of data and information. So, organizing and sharing content is the ability to select and sort between valid content based on fact and the content needed.
Organization and sharing content skill will help to distinguish hoax news, fake news, or untrue news. In other words, get used to filtering before sharing. An example is the hoax about fashionista in Eastern Indonesia, which eventually made some people run to force because they did not want to be fashionistic. Suggestion for readers of information overload are social media is currently increasingly providing space for its users to obtain the latest information. When the space has been formed, the next stage is how to utilize social media. Therefore, social media users are expected to utilize this media eventually so as not to have a negative impact on others.
Literasi digital, bijak dalam berekspresi,
dan bermedia sosial.